And why do people stick to those brands? Because they have this little difference that other people don't have. All those ideas is, I would say, a lot of presence, a lot of time to be spent on the ground. I came with a really open mind to India. Like, I studied business for multiple years in France. Like, new trends come, I would not necessarily say go with the trend.
Hello and welcome back to the latest episode of GIBS IRE Talks podcast, powered by GIBS Business School. Obviously, a place where innovation meets inspiration. And not everyone who wants to start a business or to be an entrepreneur, does it for the sake of money. For many of us, it is a matter of, passion, which is, a stimulating thought, which actually is something we find joy in. And would you like to meet someone who has the same joy and passion in them? And today we have such a personality with us, who is a co-founder of one of the most popular sandwich spot for many Bangaloreans, Paris Panene. Welcome. And it's my pleasure to introduce the co-founder of Paris Panene, a TEDx speaker, Mr. Nicolas Grossemy. Mr. Nicolas Grossemy here have a unique experience with starting a restaurant chain, which we will find out in this episode of GIBS IRE Talks podcast. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
And welcome to the IRE Talks podcast powered by GIBS Business School. Nicolas, sir, can you just share a bit about your early life, your schooling and your first learnings which shaped your personality, and what you enjoyed doing then? A little bit about down the memory lane.
Sure. So I come from France, from a small city in north of France. I studied over there for most of my education, and then studied as well in Marseille, which is in south of France, for 2 years. So I studied economic and finance to start with, and ended up with a degree in international management and entrepreneurship. So what I guess shaped my career path and helped me grow along the way is probably my curiosity and enthusiasm to discover new things and learn new things along the way. And that led me to actually discover the food industry that way. At that time I was 18 years old. I was studying economics and finance, and I was wondering what to do during my summer vacation. And I really wanted to start obviously working and get work experience, but I did not necessarily what I want to do. Like, it's, the 18 years old time is the time where you get influenced by people because your friends are going to different school, they have different thought and different thought altogether on what to do next. And so for me, I was doing this study, and at the same time I was looking for a job, and I found this opportunity of working in the restaurants in Lille. So I thought, why not giving this a try? And I ended up loving what I was doing. Mostly what I loved the most was the contact with the human contact, the conversation that you build with your customers and the different people that you meet every day. So that quite caught my attention, and even though I knew that it's not something I would want to do my entire life, I knew that I enjoyed it a lot by exchanging with people, and by even I feel that I grown a lot with this kind of experience because I was able to exchange with people from different backgrounds and exchange ideas. So when you think about like a restaurant job, you would not necessarily think like talking to people so much, yes. But my personality made me talk to a lot of people and exchange with a lot of people, and getting this familiarity and this conversation going with regular people and the different people visiting the cafe.
Excellent. I mean, that was a good start in life. I'll say that. You have a bachelor's in economics and finance. You just mentioned about that, and what are the and a master's in international management also with entrepreneurship. So how is it that that how that came into and have an interest on culinary skills? Could you just relate to that, because it becomes for us to
You
understand a bit.
understand? Correct. So that's also one of the advice I would give is you need to be curious about life when you in your 15 to 20, because that's literally the moment of your life where you have the opportunity to learn a lot. You have a lot of resources that are accessible, especially with the school supports that you can get. So you should make a good use of this, I would say, but also like be curious about learning different things. So for me, while I was doing my degree and then my master, I always looked at, okay, what's next? What's next? What can I be doing for my career path that will help me improve and as well put me on the right path for my future? So in that sense, when I reached my business school days, I had a lot of free time. Like we had obviously a lot of projects in at business school, but I knew that I had this amount of time that I had free to do something extracurricular activities that
Activities.
that would shape me better and make me understand better what I want to do. And
Yes.
because see, when you're 15, you don't have any work experience. You only have theoretical courses, like courses at
Absolutely.
school, and you don't necessarily know. You understand. You have an overall understanding of the theoretical practice, but you don't know what's happening on the ground. So, like for me, that was like very important to start gaining experience that way, and that's how again led me to work in a restaurants in Marseille while doing my business school. So again, I enjoyed it quite a lot, and I did this for the 2 years of my studies in Marseille, and then I found this opportunity to come to India for an internship. So why India? That's a pretty general and interesting question. So I came with a really open mind to India. Like I studied business for multiple years in France, and we have this good understanding and good approach about business that in Asia, everything happens in Asia in terms of manufacturing, in terms of business practices. We try to take lessons from, let's say, Alibaba, let's say like big players from Asia. Like forget about like those big companies in US. We are more and more learning from how to do business like according to the
Yes.
Asia or South Asia Asian markets. So I thought, see, I was 22 years old at that time, 21 year old, and I thought it's the right time for me to. I had not had any experience in Asia, so I thought, let me find like an internship. Let me find some work experience there, so that way I have a better understanding for starting my career. Because if I want to do something in business, I have to also explore and understand better this topic. So that's how I looked for opportunities in Asia. So I landed in India because I had the opportunity, but it could have been China, Japan, and if you ask me, I do not regret at all my decision of
We are
coming
gifted and we
here.
are lucky
And
also.
no, I am also lucky and blessed, that very grateful
That's so
that
sweet of you.
I had this opportunity, and I was able to start the
Excellent,
business.
excellent, excellent. That's great to
Correct.
know. I think we're really gifted. And I believe you had, started your business with no venture capital.
No.
That's really amazing. How did this happen, and how did you actually strategize, the establishment to this growth with no venture capital? I mean, this like, allow things.
So, I think when you're young, you don't overthink too much.
Excellent.
And I was also the kind of person who was ready to take a risk. And when I came to India 10 years ago, the market was very different. It was a very obviously growing country and developing, and it was booming. So especially when I came to India, with like, having all my studies in business school, I had a very open mind, and I was really wondering what to do because there are so many things to do, but what to do. So it came down to what are my expertise and what are the different topic or different areas where I could bring value to the table. That is very important because see, there will be millions of ideas, but at the end you have to execute and you have to add your expertise to it to be able to master something and be able to start and be able to learn and improve from there.
Okay, sure. That's great. So people love food, including each one of us over here. Who doesn't? And many of us have, even planned to starting a food-based business. That has always been, exciting. And however, recent research, it was, shown that the restaurant business is something which is, the most difficult to run. So in such a situation, how do you manage to stay on to the top with so much of, competition in hand? How are you able to, get on to the top? What are the, we would love to know about it.
So the key is, I would say, be passionate about what you do, because obviously there are a lot of players, there are a lot of people who want to open the cafe. It's a kind of a kid's dream to, own a piece of land, have a small little cafe, serve cakes, serve coffee, serve. So I had also this vision because when I worked in my first restaurant experience, I also had this dream of opening my cafe on my own later on. But so to stay on the top, I would say obviously be involved as much as possible, understand the backbone of your business, your operation, how things work in the market, understand how your competitors are working, think about how you can do better, think about what kind of value you can add to the table once again. Because see, again, if you take the example, I would say to biryani. There are so many biryani. Some biryani places are very successful. Some
are
biryani places are average, whatever. But you have people doing excellent. And why do people stick to those brands? Because they have this little difference that other people don't have, and that made you like stick to that kind of brand. So that's what I'm trying to build with Panini. It's like doing something at its best, like making my goal from the day I started was to make the best sandwiches in town, the best Panini sandwich in town. And even if you start with something, you always have a way to improve it, revise your things after some time, be it the bread recipe, be it the sauce recipe, and to always be on top of the game. Because
Yes.
see, if you see overall, time changes, like new trends come. I would not necessarily say go with the trend, because trend are not here to last.
Yes.
But go with something that you can add value on and you need to see the bigger picture, the long-term plan. Because doing something like launching something on a, like let's say like in a span of like 1 year, great, but what you will make to make this last for longer. So we've been able to for us it was all about like experimenting and improving, developing new recipe. We started with a very small menu at Pari Panini, and we introduced multigrain bread, we introduced wraps, we introduced salad, we introduced pasta. So how we were able to come up with all those ideas is, I would say, a lot of presence, a lot of time to be spent on ground, meeting customers, meeting, yeah, like seeing how they react after having the food, or even before, from the time they are entering the outlet. Because again, as for me, from the time I started working in a restaurant, I feel that the customer does not come just for the food, but for the entire experience, from the day they are welcome to the how they are treated at the table, to the music that is played in the restaurant. So it's a overall experience. So the customer will not necessarily value just a single product, but he will value the entire experience. And if by chance someone like who's like me, like a founder, is there around and is able to even help the customer in their choice, and like help in even telling about the story, about the concept and all of that, it's even bonus point. And that was a big part of my work, I would say, before Panini, and during, like at the beginning of the at the like at the very beginning of Panini. Because what is Panini? And like, to be honest, 10 years ago, people didn't know what is a Panini. There was mainly Subway doing sandwiches. I wanted to bring something different with homemade baked bread, homemade fries, double cooked, like as we do in France, homemade sauce. So the concept was something different from the very beginning itself. So like along the way, I've kept the same value, kept the same value and the same passion towards the product, and wanting to improve and make it better. And I feel that's how people, the customers, have been able to relate to the brand and been able to be so loyal to the brand, because they can see that there's consistency in the brand, as well as we're trying to innovate, we're trying to, as again I said, improve the overall experience and improve the end product, to always make the customer's experience better and better.
Excellent. You've spoken about, the real aspect of customer satisfaction, which every firm should look into. And as a founder, how do you think that, choose to start a business in a certain field? What are the things you consider before, starting a particular business field, or as a founder?
So as a founder, I would say expertise. What is your domain of expertise? So even though at 22 years old, I didn't have like one domain of expertise, I knew that my strength was cooking, was the restaurant industry overall, because I had accumulated this experience. I knew that I had learned many different aspects of the business, and many different, like, be it operationally, be it in the back end of the business. I've always been really close to, like, let's say, founders of my employers also at that time, because I've always been curious and always been wanting to learn. So that's why, like, see, like, if you're 22, you're not necessarily Bill Gates at this moment, but you can be the next one. Why? Believing in you, believing in the kind of knowledge that you have, and from this knowledge you build on. Because yeah, of the exposure that you will be able to get after you start, or even before you start. It's about, like, what you do and how you shape your life and how you surround yourself during those initial and even on the long run, that will help you, I believe, be a better person, and as well expand your area of knowledge. Because at the end, I do obviously spend a lot of time, be it in the kitchen, be it in the operation, but as well as the back end operation, as well as I'm very much involved in the branding, I'm very much involved in the strategy online, offline. And, like, I would say, as a founder, you would not have one area of where you dedicate your time. You will obviously have a strength, you will have your strength and weaknesses,
Obviously.
but it's your task, it's your up to you
Competence.
to work on those weaknesses as well as strengthen your main domain of expertise. And because see, like when I was 22, I was not a leader in the industry. I'm still not, I would say. I'm learning and I'm trying to get there, but you have to make sure that all along the way you learn and you surround yourself with the right support to get to a leader position in the industry, and be aware of what's happening and be very curious to learn the different approach, the different the 360
Feedback.
yes, 360 learning way of learning to get to a top level.
Excellent. So we can see, like the complete mix of, the talents that you are able to tap at the right time, and you're able to give in the best to, your own people through your leadership skills. And I would say that the commitment, as you said, in each areas of the working, excellent. I mean, things are changing, for better, for as far as business in India, especially in the startup world. You could see the kind of changes that.
Yes.
How do you strategize and build a consistent and a robust team of an organizations that stand out with the best of the times? So, what are your take on that?
So it's a long term project when you build a team. When I started Panini, I had the strength was around 12 people. So that's when like you capitalize your time and energy on training the right people, the right set of people, to make them understand about the values that you want to convey and the kind of concept that you're starting. And then along the way, obviously, you need to really document, you need to really standardize and have a lot of SOPs in place to and be able to communicate in a right way, right manner for your for the people who are walking along with you to understand. And obviously, yeah, if your strategy or if your message is not understood by your team, it's not gonna obviously work out. And I would say communication is very important in within the team. Be accessible to the people on the floor, on ground, because see, for me it's very important that I value everyone in the company as per like I'm very human that way, where I value as much the person who's doing who's managing the outlet as much as the person who's doing housekeeping in the outlet, because at the end of the day, without the housekeeping we won't be able to run smooth operation.
Obvious.
As well as the manager, if he's not here, the smooth operation won't be like it's not going to be as ideal as it is supposed to be. But it's the teamwork that make the great work, as simple as this. And so you should not neglect anyone in your company, as I said, be it at a higher management level or at a low workforce level. So it's very important that you build this strength within your company for people to be for people to understand that they have the support by the company to grow and build their own career. Because you might not hire everyone at a really high level of management, but you need to make sure that everyone in the company has space to grow and space to rise in the company, basically rise and shine. Because at the end, again, you need the whole team to perform, and you need to rely on certain strategic people. So that's why it's very important to talk to people, be available, understand how they work, understand if they understood the values of the company. Because if those messages are not clear from the top management, then in the process things will get messed up.
Okay, excellent. We're proud of, the human-centric approach
Yes.
which you are been spreading across your organization. Really proud of. You've been leading a multilingual team, I would say. So how have been that experience, like?
अच्छा है. I've been learning Hindi a bit.
Oh,
So over the years, I mean, I build a team that is mostly talking Hindi. I have also people talking obviously English. We have a very cosmopolitan team uh, aboard, but on board. But I'm learning. I'm trying to get some Hindi also along the way, and to get closer and probably understand better what is going on the ground level. And I mean, it's been a great learning and a great improvement that I've done. And it's nice to learn a new language, and see at the end it's a good thing for me. I've been here for 10 years. When I came to Bangalore after 2 years, I actually took some Kannada classes.
Excellent.
And then lately it's been Hindi. It's long-term journey again, I would say, but I'm getting there.
Excellent. So your most, influential mentor, if you can tell us, so that we can take the inspiration. And why does an entrepreneur need a mentor? What is your take on that? Would love to hear that.
I don't know if you need a specific mentor, to be honest,
Okay.
but I've been surrounding myself with a lot of knowledgeable people, a lot of people who have been in different industry, be at a high managerial position as well as entrepreneur, be it in IT, be it in food industry. So for me, it's more like opening your mind to different expertise, to different topic that I relate a lot with one of my best friend here who runs a IT company. So it's obviously a different way to operate, but the values are very similar. Like again, human centric, aim to grow personally, aim to grow everyone together, the company, the aim to reach new target and level. So which are quite and very important to me. And not only him, like other, I would say, again, it's not just about one person, but it's about like meeting people from different background, from different environment, who have like a different kind of expertise, and exchange about this kind of different topic, get a bit out of your comfort zone, and try to learn from different people. I would give you a simple example. I balance my work, personal life balance with workouts. I've been a sport person, an athlete in France for like the longest for since my childhood, and at the gym I meet different people. Like sometimes, and that's actually how I met my partners. I
Excellent.
met my partner at the gym in the changing room, just randomly having a talk, and that's how we eventually became partner and started Paris Panini. So, which is quite a fact, but again, it shows that it's not just about like what you do and what you just focus on. It's about like the overall things that you do in life, not only one single thing, but how you shape your life, how you surround yourself with people, and what learning you're getting into.
I'm sure you met the right people at the right time. And we've
Yes.
got,
Sometimes I feel very lucky and grateful that I've made my partner. So sometimes it's like in life, like you have up, you have down. you like obviously for entrepreneur journey you will have different obstacles, different challenges. I'm sitting here now with you talking about the how like Paris Panini was able to rise, and how I'm doing this kind of how I'm managing on daily or on the long term journey. How is my kind of vision? But like if you ask me 5 years ago, the approach was slightly different because I was more on the operational side. I had different kind of priority, and I knew that like I needed to spend more time on doing the operation and learning a very like ground level kind of operations to be able later on to run the show from a higher, like let's say a more supervising the operation and knowing what is happening in ground. Because I believe when you're an entrepreneur and when you run a company, you need to be able to understand the different verticals of your business, and not only think, okay, fine, it's business, I'm getting orders, I'm getting, like, it's great you're getting business, but it needs to be sustainable. It needs to be your operation needs to grow. I believe more in a healthy and sustainable way to grow a company, and no VC funded company. Do it at a more controllable way, where like you keep keep a track and control of what you're doing, rather than having your business, let's say, blowing off and at the end not have any control over it.
Excellent. I'm sure you have a lot of youngsters fan base following. So, what advice would you like to give to all the youngsters over there, the young audience who want to start their own business, and how do you manage your day as a co-founder? They would love to know that.
So how I manage my day, I try to do most of my personal work and things in the morning itself. So as I said, I balance my life with workout and learning things, and obviously I love cooking at home whenever I get time. But yeah, I hit the gym in the morning. That helps me like just getting prepared, ready for the day, and I love reading. I love reading a lot, so that helps me also open up my mind about what's happening in the world, and even I would say open and sharpen my knowledge. But if I have to give an advice for the next entrepreneur, the next generation, I would say don't uh, be curious, be open-minded, get as much as possible experience. You're young, you need to learn and get to work, and understand like what you like about the work. Because when I started working in restaurants, maybe I would have worked one side of it, and that side I could have used for another job. But I love the way working in the food industry was from multiple aspects. So that's what led me to open my own restaurant and growing it. So be curious about things, try to learn new things, and master one thing that you're passionate about. Because see, at the end, as you said, the food industry is one of the toughest. There's a lot of hours, a lot of competition. So at the end, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you're not going to be able to, I would say, sustain and be able to break through all the different challenges that comes to you.
Okay.
So that's why it's a good mix of. So for me, the getting into the food industry was a good mix of passion as well as knowledge and kind of mastery that I had started and wanted to pursue.
Carry on. Okay,
Yes.
excellent. I'm sure our youngsters are more excited. So, what is next for in agenda for Mr. Nicolas Grossemy and for that matter about Faris Pineni?
So I'm quite excited about the future. I've never been as excited as now. The business is growing. We've been able to grow from one single outlet in 2019 to now 14 locations. So I'm very excited to opening new outlets in Bangalore. So we have a strategy on reaching out to a newer area and opening cloud kitchen. Cloud kitchen means online delivery services, and later on. So for us, it's more of a strategy to discover a new area, and then from there tap on a new area and see if there's potential to open an outlet and grow in this area. So right now we have a mix of 8 outlets, 8 physical outlets, as well as 6 cloud kitchens. So in the pipeline, we would want to convert those few cloud kitchens that we have into a physical outlet, as well as growing the existing business. We've recently done collaboration also with other restaurants, so growing those collaboration, we are also trying to extend our scope of hours, like opening slightly later during the day, like try to tap on different markets, and later on probably open outside Bangalore.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Nicholas. I'm sure
Thank you
that
for having me.
all our youngsters, business-oriented people, our stalwarts and all leaders, they've been, looking forward to more such, inspiring stories from you, and all the very best for an exciting journey ahead. And with that, I hope our audience now has an understanding of the role of passion, that might, really crash the obstacles that might come on your way to, the entrepreneurial journey that each one of you take it, and how you can, bravely tackle them. We have seen, how bravely Mr. Nicholas have proven us whatever may be the obstacles, we are here to conquer them as leaders, as the future generation. I'm so happy that you have joined us for this episode of GIBS IRE Talk podcast. Thank you very much, and please remember to stay innovative and embrace your entrepreneurial ideas, and please don't forget to share and subscribe, because that will make our day. And this is our channel at GIBS Business School Bangalore. Follow us as GIBS IRE Talks and GIBS Business School on the social media also, because you get to listen to such stalwarts and update on the latest ideologies and techniques, and to the matching to the changing business scenario that has been playing a vital role across the globe. And we are not stopping with the story of Nicholas over here. We will have more enterprising people coming over here. So you want to check out on the latest, please stay tuned and please follow us. Thank you very much. It was indeed nice
interacting
with you.